When you see the different organs which is present in a human body, there is only one organ which is working continuously from the first day of its beginning, that is nothing but the human heart. Human heart is the very first organ to be developed during the embryonic development. In fact, this is started functioning within the first month. From there onwards, its work continuously throughout the life, and it will take rest only once, and that resting condition is a permanent resting condition. When you see the functioning of the human heart, it essentially involves the two things. One is conducting system of the heart. This is the conducting system of the heart, how the heart impulse is created and how the heart impulses is transmitted throughout the heart. Second one is a cardiac cycle, how the atria will contract, ventricle will contract, and how the pumping of the blood is taking place, that comes under the cardiac cycle. Now, first we will focus about the conducting system of the heart. See, our heart beat in a very rhythmic manner, like alternative lub and dub. That contraction and the relaxation is known as systole and diastole. The contraction and the relaxation of the heart is due to a electrical pattern, that is action potentials is generated, and again that results in a depolarization, hyperpolarization and the repolarization, which is known as a electrical activity. So, the electrical activity is a very rhythmic manner, and the reason for this electrical rhythmic activity is pacemaker. What is a pacemaker? It is a setting that rhythmic of electrical excitation causes the contraction of the heart. The next one, okay, pacemaker has created an action potential. It located at particular position in a heart, it has created an action potential. Next, that action potential has to be propagated throughout the heart, and that is taken care by a cardiac conduction system. Cardiac conduction system will helps in the transmission of the action potential throughout the heart, which includes nodal tissues, bundles and the fibers. We will see one by one. First, nodal tissue. The nodal tissues are nothing but the cardiac muscles itself. A group of cardiac muscle cell is modified to perform a specialized function, that is nothing but the nodal tissue, which are specialized cardiac musculature which is present in the heart wall. Now, there are the two nodal tissues were present. First one is known as a cyanoatrial node, second one is known as a atrioventricular node. The first one is cyanoatrial node. If you see the location, the cyanoatrial node is located at the right atrium. This is the right atrium, and the right atrium, right side, upper side, and the upper right corner you can say. So, upper right corner of the right atrium, that is the location of the cyanoatrial node, a patch of the nodal tissue which is present in the right upper corner of the right atrium. In case if they ask any anatomical identification where it is located, you can say this cyanoatrial node is present at the bottom of superior vena cava. Anatomical location is, it is located at the base of the superior vena cava. Then next one is atrioventricular node. Atrioventricular node is located at the same right atrium. Cyanoatrial node, atrioventricular node is located only within a right atrium. The atrioventricular node is located at lower left side of right atrium, lower left side of the right atrium. If you see the anatomical mark, node is present at the junction of atrioventricular valves. The next one is the bundles. Atrioventricular node is continuous as a AV bundle. So, AV bundle is formed from the atrioventricular node, and this emerges on the interatrial septum, and now atrioventricular septum and then interventricular septum, it enters into the atrioventricular septum, from there between the interventricular septum. So, on the interventricular septum, once it reaches out, it differentiated into the right AV bundle and the left AV bundle. It differentiated into the right and the left AV bundle. It further form the branches which is known as the Purkinje fibers. So, AV bundle is forming from the atrioventricular node, from there it enters into the interventricular septum. At the interventricular septum, it is branches out, that is known as the Purkinje fibers. Purkinje fibers plus AV bundle together have a specific name which is known as a bundle of His. These fibers along with the bundles are known as a bundle of His. So, AV bundles, that is right AV bundle plus right Purkinje fibers, left AV bundle plus left Purkinje fibers together known as a bundle of His. Now, in an examination they will ask a question, Purkinje fibers is confined to complete heart or right atrium, left atrium or only right ventricles, left ventricles or both the ventricles. You have to remember one point, that the Purkinje fibers are confined only to the ventricular walls. These are not present in the atrial walls. So, AV bundle, Purkinje fibers. Now, this is how the heart is functioned, conducting is taking place. You can see here the action potential is generated at SAN node. Action potential is generated at SAN node. From SAN node, the action potential next it is reaching out to AV node. Action potential reaches to the AV node. So, you can see here from the AV node it is moving to the AV bundle, from the AV bundle it is moving into the Purkinje fibers. When action potential reaches to the ventricles, you can see when a Purkinje fibers receive the action potential, they are undergoing the contraction. So, first cyanoatrial node will generate an action potential, AVN node will conduct this action potential to the ventricles. Hence, AV node is said to be electrical gateway. AV node is said to be electrical gateway of ventricles. It is said to be electrical gateway of the ventricles. The reason is action potentials cannot directly transmit from the atria to the ventricle, because atria and ventricle are separated by a fibrous tissue that does not allow the transmission of the impulses. So, it has to pass through the ventricles AV node only. That is the reason AVN node is known as a electrical gateway of the ventricles.